Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Come on in. I see that you all are just getting the notification. And so we're going to get started here. All right. So today we're talking about, well, let me introduce myself. It's been a while since I've shown my face live. So for those who don't know me or who are new here, my name is Ebony Joyce, and I am the lead career coach at Next Level Career Services. And I have a podcast, which is the Career School Podcast, and I have a program, which is the Career Clarity Accelerator, which is a 12-week program for mid and senior level corporate professionals. You can learn more about me at nextlevelcareer.co. All right. Okay, so today we're talking about deciding and determining if it's time for you to move up or if it's time for you to move out. So if you listen to my podcast, then you've already heard some snippets of this. And so I'm going to provide just a little more detail about whether it's time to move up or whether it's time to move out. But you can catch more of it on the podcast. Again, the podcast is the Career School Podcast, and it is on all of your streaming devices. So let's get into it. So, I started with this question because someone asked me the question about when is it time? How do I know if it's time to move up or if it's time to move out? So, I started to create a list. I'm going to go through a few of those questions today. And as I'm going through those, I want you to just check, just get your notebook, get your pen, and just write a one if it applies to you or a zero if it doesn't. And then at the end, I would just want you to tally up your number. And we're going to do two lists, right? We're going to do a list for if it's time to move up, and then we're going to do a list for if it's time to move out. So you will be able to then compare your numbers, right? So say you have a 5 in the move up category and a 7 in the move out category. It then requires for you to do some reflection and do some assessments on determining, if it is indeed time for you to move out. Okay, so get your pen and papers ready, and we're going to get started. I'm going to pull up my little list here so that we can get started. And if you have any questions as I'm going through the list, just drop those questions below and I will answer those as we're going through the list. Okay. All right. So the first one we're starting with whether it's time to move up. Okay. So moving up is going to be more so around some of your goals that maybe you do have inside the organization. Like maybe you do want to stay in the organization, but there are a few things that right now are out of alignment. So let's get into those. The first one falls under job satisfaction and fulfillment. So I want you to rate a one or a zero. How satisfied are you in your current role? One if you're satisfied, zero if you're not satisfied. Okay. The next question is, do I find my work meaningful and fulfilling? Like, do you believe that you have a impact or that you're making an impact in the work that you're doing currently? Yes or no? Okay. And then the last one under the job fulfillment category is around, am I able to use my strengths and my skills effectively in this role? Again, if you are, give yourself a one. If not, give yourself a zero. The next one, again, we're still in the same category. We're still in should I move up, is around career goals and aspirations. What are your long term goals, and are those goals able to be fulfilled in your current organization? Give yourself a one or a zero. Does the work I currently is the work that you do aligned with these goals? So again, is your current work aligned with those goals? If it is, give yourself a one. If not, give yourself a zero. And then the final one in this category is opportunity advancements are there opportunity advancements or growth in your current, in your current organization? Yes or a no? All right. Next, we're going to go on to compensation and benefits. Simple question. Am I satisfied with my current compensation and benefits? Yes or a no? Zero or a one? Does my current role provide adequate financial security and benefits for my needs? Yes or no? All right. The last one in this category, again, if you listen to the podcast, I go in more detail. So I just want to give you some highlights for something for you to just kind of assess as we're going through this today. Okay, so now we're going on to opportunities for learning and development. Are there opportunities for learning and professional developments in my current organization or in your current job? Does your employer support your growth through training, workshops, education, certification, schooling, etc.? Are you supported by your current employer? Are you supported by your current manager? Are you supported by your current leadership team? Okay. And I want to give a bonus. The bonus is around personal circumstances because we have to make sure that there is this balance when it comes to like how our work fits within our current life. And so the question that I would ask is, or would my job change positively or negatively affect your work circumstances? Okay. All right. So now we're going to go we're going to go into the moving category. Should I actually leave? Okay. So we start with lack of growth opportunities. If you've reached plateau in your current role and have no opportunities for advancement, if you've reached have you reached a plateau in your current role and have no opportunities for advancement or personal development? And then the second one around opportunities is, are you learning new skills and being challenged in your current position? Are you learning new skills or are you being challenged in your current position? All right, let's go. Misalignment of personal values. The company's values and culture does not align with my personal values. The company's values and the culture does not align with my personal values. A one or a zero. Do I find myself in an organization where the mission or the methods conflict with what I believe in? A one or a zero. Next, we're going to talk about work-life balance, or what I call work-life harmony. But that is around just asking yourself just a few questions is, does your job allow, or is your job taking a toll on your personal life? Is there a little time left between or for your family, your friends, hobbies, etc.? And then the second question around that is, do you have the ability to achieve a healthy balance due to, or do you not have the ability to have a healthy balance due to long hours or work overload, like your excessive, like your workload is just overwhelming? So, yes or no. And then we're going to get into recognition and compensation again. So, are your efforts and achievements in the workplace being acknowledged or rewarded adequately? All right, you keeping up? Okay, let's go. The next one, salary and benefits are not in alignment with the role or the industry standards. This is where you may need to do some research, and there are several websites out there that you can go to just make sure that your current compensation is in alignment with the role that you're currently doing. I know some of you may be doing roles of two or three people, so you need to, maybe that's a conversation with your manager about taking some of that work load off of you, or you need to be having a conversation around a promotion and things of that nature. So there may be some conversations that need to start happening sooner rather than later. All right. Okay. This is the last one, and then I'm just going to give you a few more questions just to think about, but they're not a part of the scoring. Your ideas, so this falls under being overvalued and underlooked. Your ideas and your contributions are consistently overlooked and or undervalued. And I would also add to that, I know I've talked to a few people here recently who have said, like, I've done the work, my manager has taken the credit for it, and my manager has actually gotten a promotion or gotten several promotions. And some of those people are like, it's time for me to go because I'm being overlooked. And the fact that someone else is taking credit for my work and receiving the promotions, receiving the salaries, etc., that belong to me essentially. So again, if you fall in that category, this is the moving out section that you may want to consider. Second one, is there a lack of support and mentorship around around your management or your colleagues? So, do you have the support from your managers or your colleagues in order to continuously grow both personally and professionally? Okay. So that wraps up that portion. So the last things I want to say is these are just two questions that I want you to consider when it comes to deciding if you want to move up or if you want to move out. And the first one is around the company is not progressing. They're facing some financial difficulties and they are lacking innovation. Okay. So if you are with an organization, you're like, typically, over the past couple of years, we're always coming out with new products. We come out with 10 or 15 products a year. And now I'm starting to see that we're coming out with one, maybe two products a year. Like there's been a slow progression when it comes to us being as innovative as we used to be. Or, we're doing layoffs because there are some financial difficulties, or they're trying to prevent some financial difficulties, like, C-suite individuals see things that are happening way before we do. So, sometimes you got to look at the signs, look at get on the quarterly review, the quarterly calls. Each quarter, if your company is a public company, should have those public to you. They're online, so you can find those. So make sure you're looking at some of those quarterly reports that are coming out. And then the second thing you want to look at is, is there a high turnover rate, which usually does signal some type of dissatisfaction from employees. So look at that as well. So these are just a few other things that you want to look at. If you're starting to see like, hey, you know what, such and such has been here 6 months or a year and they're like out the door already, or people who have been here for a long time are starting or leaving, starting to exit, they're doing an early retirement. Those are some things that you want to consider like, maybe they see something or they know something that I don't know. And so again, you want to make sure you do your due diligence around that. So I want to give you all a bonus today. If you, either way, if you decide that you want to move up or if you decide you want to move out, I'm going to drop the link to my resume template. Hopefully you got that. Okay, I think it's popped up. All right, I'm dropping the link to the resume template. So if you are looking to move up or if you're looking to move out, but you're like, I know my resume at least needs to be refreshed and revised. And if I'm going to move up, I need to make sure that I can actually move up in a way that's going to, get noticed. And the first part of that, after you've done your due diligence, you've done your assessments, you've done all those things, it is time for you to make sure that you are showcasing your achievements and your accomplishments in a way that really stand out with you, and so you can be that star candidate on paper. So go to the link and get the resume template. I promise you, you will see if you haven't already, if you're feeling like you're stuck, you want to move up and you're like, this is not working. Maybe it might be your resume, maybe it's something else, but start with the resume. Let's just start there. If you're like, I want to move up and I know I need to at least do my resume, then this template is for you. It's the template that 80% of my clients use. And the ones who do use it are the ones who are getting interviews. So use it. I'm happy to, after you put all your information in there, like you do literally just go in, you copy it and you're pasting your information in. After you do that, let's have a conversation about it. You can schedule a call with me at nextlevelcareer.co/consult, and we can go over your resume together. All right. Well, that is it for today's live. Again, it's been a while since I've gone live, so it felt good just to kind of get things going again. So I'm happy you all could join me today. And next week, I'm going live, same time, 7 p.m. But we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have a money coach. So we're talking all about money next week, Monday, April 29th at 7 p.m. All right. Thank you again for joining, and I will see you next Monday. Take care.